Hi, thank you for stopping by. Today the video is going to be about repairing your electrical cord if it gets damaged. Instead of throwing it away, cord's very expensive. It's very simple. You can just basically take and cut off the damaged part. And you see that one got chewed up pretty good. And lucky enough, it's at the end. We're just going to cut this off, remove the plug off the end, and re-put the plug back on this end. If you have a piece that's probably more than 10 feet long, don't throw it away. You can take and cut the ends off and put plugs on it, and you can always plug it into the cord that you can repair and get some more length out of it if you need it. I wouldn't recommend putting it out in the wet grass or anything like that, but as far as needing a longer cord in dry conditions, it would work just great. Now, you can use the screw gun for taking these screws out. I don't recommend too much when you put it in unless you're very careful, because you can over tighten. And you just take them out. They're very easy. Take the back off, loosen the back screws, take these three in the front. It's pretty similar to most of the plugs that you have to deal with. Now this one's called a female plug because it's got the holes that don't have the prongs. Now you can use the drill to loosen these screws here. Do not take them all the way out. Just loosen them up. When you put them back, I do not recommend you use this impact drill for this, because you can strip them and then you're going to lose a plug. Now, what I want to do here, I've been doing plugs for a while, so I know what lengths I need. But if you've never done one before, use the wire that you're taking the plug off as an example where you want to set it. It's actually cut back a little bit on the long side, but I'm going to leave it like that and use it as an example for you. And you just want to put it together so you can see basically what the one is originally cut. That way you match it. That way you should come out pretty good. Most plugs are going to be set okay. Like I said, this one's a little bit on the long side, but it's workable. I can work with that. So I'm just going to show you. You want to carefully trim the outer insulation so you can take it off. Be careful not to cut the wires. Now, if you match these up again, you want to cut the end tips, the insulation off. Match the length that you got on these, because these work perfect the way they're cut. So you just want to match the length. All you can do is trim them off. Don't cut any of the wires on the inside. Just take the outer insulation off. Now you can do this with scissors. You can do it with side cutters. You can do it with a penknife. You just have to be careful. You don't cut too deep. And you want to twist them together. As you can see, most of this so far is just very simple stuff. This is for the people that's never done it before. The guys that do it all day long and say, oh, you're making a video for something so simple. A lot of people have never done it. It's not simple if you haven't done it. Everything's hard until you learn how to do it. Now you want to make sure you put the back of the plug on the cord first. If not, you're going to have to take everything back off to do that. Now if you look at this, it's hard to see in the video, but you'll see one screw is brass. The other one is a silver or a white. And then the green one. The green one's the ground. The white wire goes on the silver or white screw that you have there. The black one's going to go on the brass screw. Very important that you do this. The white wire also, if you would look at the front of the plug, the hole is a little bit wider. And the white wire always goes in the wider hole. Some of the cheap plugs do not have a wide hole. So you still have to match up the white wire in the correct place. And another thing on some of the cheap plugs, they have all the screws brass. Which is a yellow color, which won't help you where to put the white wire. So at the end of this video, I compare some plugs there and show you with the male and the female of where the white wire will always go. Now when you put these wires in, push them down and hold them down while you tighten the screws so they don't slip back out. And you don't want to over tighten them, but you want to tighten them enough that they're not going to slip out. The green's going to go into the green screw. That's your ground wire. Don't do what some people do and just bypass the ground wire. That ground wire is very important. The only time you don't use the ground wire when you're dealing with a double insulated, like a plastic tool, something like that, that don't need it. But on most of your tools and on your extension cords, you really need to have that ground wire, because you can have yourself a big problem if you get run into water or anything else. Now, as I said, that's a little bit long, so all we're going to do is I'm going to twist it just a little bit. And when I put it in, that will give me a little bit of slack on the inside. So if it did get yanked, it's still not going to pull it out of the plug. Now, there's some notches on here. I'll show you. I don't know if you'll see it in the video, but there's got a couple of notches here on either side. One's like a little piece sticking out, and the other one's a little notch going in. You line them up. If you don't, it's not going to sit right, and you won't line the screws up right. Okay, you see there's the little notch that has to go into the slit in there, and then it'll just pop together. Hold it tight together, and then just snug the screws. Don't over tighten them. The type of screws they use on this, threads, they go down real quick. Okay, now this one you want to push that end of the wire in and hold it in. Don't let it loose while you tighten it down. Tighten down one and then recheck pushing it in, and then do the other side. Now that wire is not going to come out. It's going to hold it. And you can see it's all the way in. Now if you see here, you see one part of the plug, the slit is wide where the arrow is and my finger's at. That's the white wire will be attached to that. Okay. Now this one here, you can see it don't have the wide area, but the white wires can be in the same position where you see the writing on the plug, be exactly in the same position. If you hold it facing you like that, it's going to be on your left side. Now this one is actually a male plug because the prongs stick out. It's called a male plug. The white will be on the opposite side. It's going to be on the right side when facing you, because when you turn it, as you can see, it lines up the white to the white on the female plug. Thank you for watching.